Greetings folks, it is I, Toothache, and we're here once again with a guide for Dynasty Warriors 3. In this guide we're getting the fourth weapon for Zhang Jiao. So we're off back to the Yellow Turban Rebellion on the Yellow Turban forces. And here he is. Equipment. The weapon we're going for is this, the Volcano Staff. Has base attack 37 and a fire element, Musou Max 72, attack 43 and reach 27. Weapons, we need to make sure we got the third one on. Items, let's see, horse. Alright, that should do. Everybody, let's begin.
Go, ye children of the Yellow Turban! They have taken position in a small castle. Break down the castle doors and smash the enemy!
Alright, start the battle right back here, and the river is not frozen. That will only freeze if Zhang Jiao is defeated. Zhang Liang, I should say. If Zhang Jiao is defeated, the battle's over, and you lose. Anyway, so I've got to make a way all the way over here because this is the only crossing point.
They are strong.
Anyway, fourth weapon requirements, you actually have three ways of getting the weapon. You can defeat Sun Jian and all of his sub-commanders. You can defeat Cao Cao and all of his sub-commanders, or you can defeat Liu Bei and all of his sub-commanders. So you got three ways of getting it, and you can go for whichever one you find the easiest. I'm going for the nearest one, which is Sun Jian, and he appears right over here next to Zhang Liang.
Anybody like to take me on?
Yes, you can break the guards of these these generals just because it's a one flag stage, and this stage is very easy. You shouldn't have anything to worry about. Real concern is just making sure that you're the one that gets the kill and not anyone else.
I defeated an officer.
Oh, will this battlefield be my last? Oh.
You have to be sure that you're the one that gets the kill, not any of your troops.
Do you honestly think you can defeat me?
So I've triggered Sun Jian a little earlier there, but I need to find the rest of his sub-generals. There's Han Dong, so there's one more.
I defeated an officer. They look strong. Take heart.
Right, now I need to find the third one, which I believe is Cheng Pu. Might be further north, thinking about it.
Stand strong until reinforcements come.
Can't even knock me off my horse. Yeah, that charge 6 hurts if you can get all the hits in. Not only does it have a solid hit on its own right, it has the fire element effect on top of it. so it can really devastate a single target. For something with a bit more crowd control, use your Charge 4, which also has fire element on it. So even without his fourth weapon, still do quite a number of fire attacks. And there's always the Musou as well. So yeah, I'm not worried about anything this stage has to offer here. Alright, that should give me the fourth weapon.
Sons, the future is yours.
I am Jiao. Come, fight me.
Tried to get on the wrong course there, and it seems that Cao Cao's forces have caught up with me.
Cao Cao, forgive me.
Since they all insist on coming to attack me now, I may as well give them my trial by fire. Ho ho. So there's the fourth weapon. It appears on the other side of the river to where I am. So we have to go the long way around in order to reach it, since the river isn't frozen. And I'll show you where that is in a moment. I think Cao Cao's finished with eliminating the generals on the south, so he'll probably start heading towards me now. While I'm going this way, I may as well take out what other generals I can, starting with Wang Fusong here. A nice little flamethrower there on this Charge 4. Yeah, I'm getting knocked about a bit, but it doesn't matter. None of this is going to be difficult for me. In fact, it really is surprising how easily the Yellow Turban forces are being eaten alive. I mean, they're meant to be the losers in this battle, you know, representing sort of a disorganised rabble, I suppose. But this is only on hard mode. Imagine what it's going to be like on very hard mode. It'll just be you against the entire army, essentially. Which is how a lot of the
I defeated an officer. I will strike him down.
I was going to say before I was so rudely interrupted. It's how a lot of the fifth weapon.
It is unfortunate to kill one of such skill.
Fifth weapon runs will end up, or at least a handful of them. Troops will get eaten alive, and then it'll be just you. Something to bear in mind is that for the runs on very hard mode,
It cannot end here. Not yet.
playable generals will use their fourth weapons, so they'll have access to elemental attacks, including, most dangerously, the steel element.
Reinforcements come.
Although sometimes the fire effect can be more devastating, depending on if you're comboed long enough. The thing about the steel attack is that it's only a percentage based. I think it does 20% of your current hit points. Which is why in this game it can't finish off an opponent. It'll just do 20% of whatever's left. So the higher hit points, the more damage a steel effect element attack will do. As things start lowering down in terms of the enemy health, it'll do less damage overall, until it gets to the point where it does less damage than a regular attack will.
I defeated an officer.
And because it's a percentage based attack, it won't actually kill anything. Alright, so I'm just going to ignore everything for the moment. Liu Bei and his forces are preoccupied with chasing down Zhang Jiao, I think.
Is this the end?
Most of the rest of my troops are just being eaten alive. Anyway, going all the way over here just to collect the fourth weapon. Like I say, if the river was frozen, I'd be able to just get a nice little shortcut through the centre of the fort there. Just that entrance you would have saw.
We must not lose to them.
So that was the fourth weapon. Now I'm going to go all the way back inside and defeat Jian. Should have enough health here to play with, and there's at least one pot as well as the guard captain, so you shouldn't run into any health difficulties. Getting around this place is a little bit of a maze. I'm going to take on Liu Jiao here just because I can. I don't usually have any trouble button bashing the weapon clashes on hard mode. On very hard mode, it's a different story. I have to put my all into it, and even then, there's a possibility of me failing. This place is a little bit of a maze, and it catches me off guard sometimes getting around, especially to the location where Jian is hiding. So now I've got to find my way around there. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Zhou Jing is Jian's sub-commander. And he's starting to be a little bit annoying. There we go. Nah, just going to ignore everything else now.
Fight me if you dare.
Take on Jian. Even though he's a generic officer, he'll still take a while to put down. Just because he's the commander. But we won't be able to throw anything too threatening at you, so should be have very little trouble taking him down. That's why I dashed for him rather than taking out the rest of his troops. Can't break his guard, unfortunately, like the rest of the generals in this stage. Just because his stats are so high. Getting caught there. It's not good. If I take out that guard captain, then I'll be able to get some health back. Or I can just pick this up right here. This'll all help. I got some extra meat bun recovery on my weapon, which is helping out. Those archers aren't going to give me any trouble really. They'll do a little bit of damage and stun me possibly. Do you mind trying to face in the right direction so I can block your attack? Yeah, like I say, I'm able to pretty much cover most of the hard mode weapon clashes. I do fail them sometimes, but it's only very rarely. If they're not expecting it, then it can be enough for me to not get enough button bashes in. Thought his health might have been so low that he couldn't get health back. It's probably just on the cusp of that. Oh well, it'll just take a bit longer, it won't be hard. Just get caught there by that guard. I'm not exactly a fan of his regular attack set. His real strength is in his Musou and his fire element attacks, his natural ones and the ones from his weapon.
No, not here.
When I say from his weapon, I mean his fourth weapon. The fifth weapon has a lightning element effect instead. So yeah, there's nothing there to write home about. Get through all these useless equipment. Anyway, so yeah, you got 3 different ways to get the weapon. You can defeat all of the officers of Sun Jian, all of those of Liu Bei, all of those of Cao Cao, and the commander themselves, and collect the weapon and finish the stage. It's a nice and easy one. You shouldn't have any trouble with this because it's the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, folks, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.